to be written and signed.
Mr. Chair, I will make a motion that we approve the minutes from January 24th, 2015 as so written with one abstention. Mr. Lavash was absent.
I will second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Abstentions? Okay, good. I'm going to skip here for a second. Tom asked me to come in tonight, and I told him I would get him on as soon as I could, so that he can get back out there and figure out what he's going to do with all the snow.
Yes.
Go ahead, Tom.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, I just wanted to come in, kind of let everybody know what was going on with this lovely winter that we're having. Hopefully give some people some tips on how to help themselves, to help us, and hopefully we can just kind of think spring. First off, I want to say thank you to the crew. Obviously, many of you know we've been working some extended hours. It's getting a little tiresome. With that said, please give us some space when we're plowing. Some of these guys have been working 20, 24 plus hours, including myself. So towards that end of the time frame, if you're too close to us, I'm not going to see you, going to get in an accident. I don't want that. Just give us some space, make us aware, or let us signal you to go by us. Please drive slow. The roads are narrow. There's not much room for 2 cars to pass. Allow yourself some extra braking distance. If the roads are narrow, be patient. I don't know where we'd be right now without that wind plow that we were able to purchase. That's been a huge help in widening some of the roads. Please protect the crew. If I have an injured crew member, it's going to be one more road that gets a little more delayed. So please refrain from plowing snow across the road to impede the plow drivers. When you do clear your driveway, please put the snow with the flow of traffic. So if you're standing with your back to your front door, shovel the snow to your right. Not only will it prevent us from blocking your driveway back in, but it'll give you more visibility when you exit your driveway. Some of you, I've been getting some complaints on some of the outside roads. A Street in particular is one of them. I'm currently short 2 of my contract vendors. One of them blew a transmission in the truck. The other one blew a cylinder. So I'm currently 2 vendors short. I haven't really had time to look for some others, but I'm sure they're all pretty well taken care of. So if you do have a road that hasn't been plowed, I have had some. A Street's one in particular. Sardi Road is another one. During a storm, if it's an emergency, please get in touch with the PD so they can get in touch with me and I can dispatch a truck to that location. Another obstacle that we're facing now is there's a salt shortage. Some of you may or may not be aware, but there is a salt shortage in Boston where the co-op got their bid for salt. I'm lucky enough to have some salt in the shed. I don't expect another salt delivery. If I get one within the month, I'll be happy. So the sand to salt ratio is going to be down a little bit. It's not going to work as well. Please drive slow, be patient. I'm going to be using the salt sparingly on the main roads. Some of the flat roads off the beaten path will not see any salt, if sand. Sand I might be using straight on some of the roads depending on traffic conditions. Hopefully we can get some sunny days and it can kind of melt some of those side streets off. Another area with the salt is, as you're well aware, some of the roads in town are very rough. I'm not able to plow a rough road due to the fact there's so many bumps. The average width of the plow blades is 11 feet. So you got an 11-foot straight distance going over a bumpy road, which means if there's a bump and there's 4 inches of snow left in that bump, the plow truck goes over it and it's dead flat. But after the traffic goes over it, it's going to blow all the snow out just like it does with potholes and make the road a mess. So please be understanding that some of the rough roads are not going to be in good condition because of that. And final thing, as many of you are aware of, I have hired some additional contractors for some of the snow removal. I'm concentrating that in the downtown areas to have access to the sidewalks, as well as places to put the snow. And greatest sight visibility. If you live on an intersection that has a poor visibility coming out, please contact myself. Leave a message. I will get back to you. I will get to it as soon as I can, but please be patient. Some of the back roads that are off the beaten path a little bit are not going to get the attention right away because they are a back road. My main concern is the greatest safety to the masses, which is on the main roads. So with that said, thank you very much for your support. Please be patient. And if you have any questions or concerns, just leave me a message. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. If I can take care of it, I will. If I can't, I'll kind of let you know that too.
Any questions, Mr. Lavash?
No, I think he's doing a nice job.
Mr. Nardi?
No.
In that case, Tom, thank you very much for coming in, and go home and get some rest.
Thank you.
Okay, next item is old business. Police Chief Skirikowski with the presentation of a candidate for appointment to the department. Chief?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. A couple weeks ago, we had a couple of appointments. We had Tom Delanski, Jr., and also Sean Warren. Both those candidates have passed their psychological and their physical, so now we're hooking them up with uniforms, starting their FTO training program. Mr. Karamanakis had a commitment a couple of weeks ago, which I explained to the board. He couldn't make it. He's here before the board tonight. We interviewed him. We did his background checks. He's got some experience coming from auxiliary and part-time on a couple of different departments, but we feel he's going to be an excellent addition to our department, so I present him to the board for your consideration.
Okay, any questions? You're first?
Go ahead, you can go first.
Okay, I'll go first. I'm going to ask the one I always ask, and I'm sure you've already warned them.
I have.
Just to make sure, one of the things I have, in order to appoint anybody to the police department, I always ask the question as to whether you're a registered voter or not.
Yes, I am, sir.
If you are, and I'll give you my reasoning, which I usually don't go into. For anybody that want to help the town and so forth, I feel they have to be registered. I don't really care what town they're from or so forth, but I think you have to show interest in the town itself, and I just believe that's part of it.
Yes, sir.
Now I'll let you go.
I just have a comment to make. I spoke to the chief regarding his appointments a few weeks ago, and he spoke very highly of all the candidates that he was bringing before us. So he was pretty ecstatic with the candidate pool that he had at this point in time. So I'm happy to see that we're getting some new faces in, and the police department is getting filled up with some new staff, which is a good thing to see for a change.
Very good. Anything?
No, I spoke to the chief myself. I'm pretty happy with his explanations of what he's doing. So.
Yeah, I think my only question, just so everybody knows, is how many full-timers and how many part-timers, Chief?
Including myself, we have 7 full-time, and with the addition of Mr. Karamanakis, we will be at 8 part-time.
Let me ask, do you have any questions for the board?
No, I do not, sir.
Now, are you at all familiar with the town of Warren?
Yes, I am, sir.
It's a bad time to get used to it, and there's much snow as we've got out there.
It's bad everywhere, that's for sure.
That's for sure. If there's nothing else to come before the board, I'll entertain a motion to appoint, and that's with the same stipulations that are always there.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Pick up your thing, and congratulations.
Thank you very
Welcome
much.
aboard.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Before I go to comments and concerns, I'm going to ask any other old business to come before the board.
I have one thing. I would like the board to consider, we went up and met Mr. Fountain at his property a few weeks back. I went to the planning board meeting last week, brought up the fact that we visited the property and he has some land for sale potentially that we could have for your cemetery use, for police and fire. I would like the office to send a request to Mr. Fountain to see if we can sit down or discuss the cost of possibly purchasing a portion of that land.
Any problem with that?
I don't have a problem with it. I'm not sure where we can find the money.
Well, we might not. I don't have a problem sending a letter. We can just make a discussion at least and go from there.
That was all I had.
Do you have any old business?
No. Actually, there's one. Alan and I would like to get a new architect for the boat, for the town hall, whether it's in your.
Bear with me.
We're not getting very far with Bernard Engineering. We have the names of a couple more that we would like to call and see if we can get this thing moving, because we're not moving anywhere with Bernard.
You have a problem?
No.
I don't have a problem either. Get input, connect to both firms and get back to the board and tell us,
Yeah.
in case you want to bring somebody in to interview.
Okay.
Anything else?
Yep.
I only have one thing, and I'm not sure if this is new business or old business, but I'm gonna bring it up now. As we all know, the situation with the snow and so forth, I had some information come in to me about the senior center roof, and I'm sure you know about it. We've got, I think, 2 or 3 weeks right now, excuse me, at the senior center because of the ice buildup along the edges and all the snow on the roof. I went down and looked at it today. I talked to Sharon, and she asked me what she should do. I said, well, you know what? The first thing we gotta do is get the snow off the flat roof, number one. And see what we can do about getting the ice down, because it's now backing up, and the problem is it's backing up into the new roof and dripping. So she told me she didn't know what to do because she wasn't sure she had the money. My answer to this, and I don't think the board will have a problem with it, I told her to have somebody come in, take the snow off the flat roof, see if we can get at least the edges of the other roofs off, and see if we can alleviate this ice and snow as much as we can.
I was suggesting also trying to throw some ice up on the edges, up around the
Ice
edges,
melt?
see if there's something like ice melt and sit in there.
I have no problem with that. I just think
Work on it anyway.
I don't want to, with all the money we put in fixing it up, I don't want to wreck the roof and stuff because of the fact that there might be a shortage of funds. I told her we could go either to the Finance Committee for a wrap, or we could go to the next special town meeting in May to get money if they ran out. So just, that's for the record. So they have been told, Sharon has been told to go ahead and get somebody, and we'll go from there and see if we can get that cleared so it's not leaking. All right, I'll go to comments and concerns. Does anybody wish to address the board?
Yes.
Can I interrupt you just for a second?
Yeah, sure.
If you'd like to announce.
Oh, you're right. You're right, I forget that every now and then. This meeting is being video and or audio taped, and if anybody else is video or audio taping, please let us know now.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, really simple question. For the senior center, are they looking for like a contractor vendor to do that? Or are you actually looking for like volunteers to help take the snow off the roof?
We're looking for a
or-
vendor.
Okay, for a vendor who has insurance and all that stuff?
That's correct. We actually had somebody volunteered, a nice gentleman that works down there volunteered to try to do it. And I said, you know what, just don't take it wrong or anything else, but I don't want you anywhere around the roof, okay? I don't want you to start trying to get stuff down. We're looking for a vendor. If anybody knows a vendor, please contact Sharon at the senior center, and we'd like to get it done as soon as we could to stop the leaking, but it is a vendor.
Oh, okay. Is it possible to use any snowplow vendors? Because you have private contractors that do that, and they must already have that insurance, I would think, right?
I think that we will be looking, I asked Sharon to look and see if she could find somebody that would do it. I also told her that if she can't, to call the Board of Selectmen, and we'll start looking to see if we can find somebody. She had 2 or 3 names already. So,
Oh, okay.
all right,
Good.
but we're still looking.
Right, yeah, okay. Yeah, definitely important to get that done. So.
Any other comments or
Thank you.
concerns? Yes, sir.
Last week, I requested the board look at 2 possible dates to have a Representative Birding Company come down, look at the chimes. And you were supposed to give me 2 dates.
Did we get a hold of Seth? It was on, we did talk about it. We're trying to get a hold of Seth to find out.
I apologize,
No,
Mr. Chairman.
no.
I didn't make that phone call,
It's been a
so.
lot of stuff. Just see if we can call Seth tomorrow, see when he'd be available, and ask him for 2 dates, and we'll set it up according to those 2 dates. We'll find out tomorrow, Stanley.
Thank you.
Excuse me, Mr. Chairman.
Yep.
Morning, afternoon, what are we looking for?
Any 2 dates that we can get together.
Yep.
To go over that.
Yeah, ask,
So a board member, Mr. Solstice.
we'll have at
and
least
Mr.
one board
Blackwell?
member there.
Okay.
So, but just see if he can, Seth can come up with 2 dates. And we'll get it back to Stanley as soon as we can. All right, anything else? Yes.
I have a concern about Finance Committee being able to meet their commitment this spring for the upcoming town meeting.
Mm-hmm.
With Stephanie's resignation, we have had 2 meetings before that which we weren't able to hold a quorum because we had 2 empty seats at that point. Now with her gone, we still have 4 members, but there's a fourth member that I've been told was going to take papers to run for in the upcoming election, which would be probably a conflict of interest for him as well. If that was to happen, can we operate not in a quorum, but to continue on with trying to adjust the budget for the town meeting?
The answer is no.
So what do we do?
I think what we'll probably do is to try to see if we can put an advertisement on the TV, and also see if we can get a public service announcement in the paper.
I don't know, because I haven't been able to see him to ask him if he's definitely running or not.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact of the matter is, I think I'd rather be proactive. And if we can't do anything at these meetings, we're gonna get caught behind the 8 ball. We're supposed to be reviewing budgets right now. Are we allowed to review budgets at all? Are we allowed to do any work outside of the...
What you'd be able to do, Barry, is strictly, you can't take a vote on anybody's budget unless you have a quorum. Okay, you can have...
But we can have a working session.
You can have a working session to look at it and so forth, but there can't be any votes until you have a quorum. And we will definitely get that on the blue screen, and we will also get it in the paper saying that we need somebody as soon as possible to do it.
Is there anyone currently that can act on behalf of that fourth member that's already in a position in the town? In other words, can a selectman sit on that board?
No.
At the last minute?
No.
So how?
But I will say this, remember one thing, that if somebody were to want to run in the election, Barry, okay, they don't have to resign until they win. So they can take papers out, and they're fine taking papers out and being on the finance until they win. If they were to win, then they would have to step down from finance. So you'd have the 4 members all the way through at least the annual town election. Okay?
So we can still review the budgets with the departments.
Yep.
And we can still work within our sessions.
That's correct. And I think there's another way out of it, but I want to check before I say that. I think there's a way in Mass General Law that if there is not a quorum in finance, there's a way to fix it in case it happens. And I will double check. I'll let you know.
We've had, we've been advertising before Sue even resigned.
Yep.
We've been advertising for those members, and I've had no luck really getting anyone. And I had a candidate that evidently backed out. So
we will see. I think there's a way around it, and I'll find out in the next week for you.
Your board's meeting tomorrow, Thursday night, correct?
Thursday we have a meeting coming up.
Gonna try and make that one?
I already told Jerry. Jerry called me and asked me if I was going to be there. I fully intend to make that one at 7 o'clock. So I will be there. And I'll try to find out in the meantime, but I think there's a way around it if it didn't happen. Anything else? Go to correspondence.
Notice from Chief LaVoy that the Warren Firefighters Association would like to replace the chassis on the brush truck currently housed at Station A. The truck is a 1987 Ford, which was purchased and outfitted by the association and donated to the town some time ago. The association is planning a fundraising campaign throughout the town and proposes a thermometer fund sign that would measure the campaign's progress. The Warren Firefighters Association is looking for the board to support their endeavor.
I fully support that.
Yes, absolutely.
So you got our support.
I noticed from Massachusetts Municipal Association Spring Legislative Breakfast meeting dates March 6th, March 13th, or March 20th. Registration form in the office. Letter from the Finance Committee Chair Stephanie Hadley. With regrets, she has tendered her resignation from FinCom, citing personal and professional interests that dictate the decision.
Can we send a letter to Ms. Hadley thanking her for the time she put in on behalf of the town?
The Conservation Commission has announced a job posting for the department secretarial position. Applications and resumes must be submitted to the Warren Conservation Commission by February 13th. A job description can be found on the town's website. We received Fire Chief LaVoy's January 2015 report. We have correspondence from Chief LaVoy commending the extreme efforts and compassion displayed by both the Warren Highway and Warren Police Departments during several snow events The highway department guided the ambulance and fire apparatus to their destinations and assured residents were accessible. Police officers shoveled walkways and porches. They went above and beyond to assist where they could, assure the fire department could assist residents in need. He is very proud of all members of the Warren Fire Department who are dedicated to helping others. Lastly, he is thankful for the cooperation and support demonstrated by all town departments that work to ensure the community is protected even during trying times.
We send a letter, again, I think we send a letter to all three of those departments, police, fire, highway, and thanking them for what they've done.
Mr. Chairman, can I
Yes.
just add something? real
Absolutely.
quick? Again, I apologize for a casual appearance, I've just been busy and I did not have time to change before I came here. I'd just like to encourage everyone to help us out, to get the hydrants cleared out. We're doing the best we can, we're trying to clear some hydrants, the water department's working, you know, they are private hydrants, so they are working to clear them, but if anyone has a hydrant near their house, would please help us by clearing them out. I know they had an awful fire in Palmer last night. One of the biggest problems they had was getting water because they couldn't get to the hydrants. So any citizens that can help us out to protect their own property and their neighbor's property by clearing out a hydrant, we just strongly encourage that. And like I said, just to follow up, I can't thank the highway department enough and the police department. I think it's definitely worthy that the town needs to know that they went above and beyond using personal vehicles, getting to the scenes, helping us get patients out of their houses, and they should be commended for that. So.
Very good. We absolutely agree. All right, Treasury warrants, before I go, 1 second. Could we send a letter to the Senior Center Director and the Council on Aging informing them that we have authorized the expenditures to have the roof, snow taken off the roof, to put snow melt or ice melt on it, and to see what we can do about taking the big icicles coming down so that we can stop the leaks and just inform them that we have done that and that we understand that they're probably going to have to get reimbursed for money at some point along the line.
The big concern is the dirt's coming down, not the ice.
Well, I know, but
Things up there.
I went down there this afternoon.
Sitting on top of the dirt.
Where that one roof comes,
Yeah.
ooh. So, whatever they have to do to clear the problem on it, we're not gonna get specific on it other than to see what they can do about clearing it so that it won't affect the new roof and everything else we just put on. It doesn't drip inside. All right, I'm sorry. Now, let's go to Treasury warrants and invoices.
Mr. Chair, I will make a motion that we approve payroll warrant number 65 in the amount of $38,342.18, and vendor warrant number 66 in the amount of $244,625.42, dated February 9, 2015.
I'll second.
Motion's made and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Chair, I'm going to make a motion that we approve invoice number 2 for Pioneer Valley Planning Commission in the amount of $670.48 for the Community Assistance Program. Sorry.
I'll second.
All right, motion's made and seconded. Any discussion?
No.
Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. All right, I'll go to other business. Mr. Lavash, anything?
Not really, just inform the citizens not to be doing too much shoveling before they get hurt themselves.
That's for sure.
Absolutely. I think it just reminding the citizens also, if you have a power vent on your house, if your residents in my neighborhood have them, they're only about 3 or 4 feet off the ground, drifting. That vent gets covered, could cause CO2 gas to pour back into your house or have your furnace shut down, so please check that. Any ventilation you have outside your house at this point in time, the snow is extremely deep. It was close to mine at my house. And check your roofs. We're not encouraging people to jump up there. I don't know if you have a roof rake, but I have some ice dams building on my house right now. It's pretty incredible. And if we get a quick warm spell, it's going to melt, freeze, you're going to have ice damming and water everything to your house. So check on your neighbors, especially your elderly neighbors. clear your fire hydrants like Chief said. I think that's about it, sir.
Now, I only have one other question. We received information from town council pertaining to the senior center work program. Okay, there was a question pertaining who could work where and who and so forth. If they could work for, if they already work for the town, could they work for the same department? Is what it came to. Was a preliminary call made to the town council. Town council said that it looked like it was going to be a conflict if they couldn't work for the same department they work in for under the senior program. We then got a call from the town clerk. Town clerk asked us to check to see if we could get that in writing. I called town council in a very quick type of thing. She asked me one question: if they're special municipal employees, and they then could they work? If they're special municipal employees, could they work for the same department under the Senior Citizens Abatement Program? Her answer to me was that if they were special town employees, special municipal employees, and designated as such, that they could work for the same department that they might work for as a town. So example being if they were on the board of registrars, could they work for the town clerk's office? Okay, that was the question. She asked me, I said, well, I know you've given an opinion, I need it in writing. Then she asked me one question about the special municipal employees. The answer from town council that we have in writing, as I requested it in writing, was under the state Massachusetts guidelines and so forth, they can work for the same department if they were special municipal employees and if they wrote a letter stating that they were working for both of them. So the question then became, everybody's been assigned already. We've had some questions from people wanting to wanting to work for the place where they were working for, okay? And that's where we are now. But I have to bring before the board, and I'm not making a decision. I think we have to bring before the board, is it the board's decision they want to allow that if we had a request from somebody to work there for the department they work in?
So are we looking to cast a vote tonight to approve that?
It would have to be, we make a decision, because if some of them have started working already, okay, and it would be shifting around if we said yes. So I know some people haven't called their people supposed to be working for them yet because of the reason. So that's the question, do we want to allow that or not?
I want to allow it. I want to allow it.
Okay, well, I guess we're going to.
Okay. Do we need a vote?
We need a vote.
I'll make a motion to allow, I didn't want to word that there, I'm sorry.
Would basically be to instruct anyone that is a special municipal employee to be able to work for that same department if they were to disclose that in writing.
So moved. Second.
Motion's made and seconded. Any requests for discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
And I have to say one thing before I have to apologize to Lorena and to Becky because they already set this up. So, other than that, the next meeting date is February 19th at 6:30 at Quabog High School prior to the special town meeting. And we would request that the Finance Committee comes to that, Barry. And after that, the next date is February 24th, 2015 at this meeting place at 7 p.m. If there is nothing else to come before the board, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, hold on.
excuse me, there are some documents that came to the office
okay.
this afternoon with regards to the Borrego solar farm on the landfill. Part of the site plan approval required is that the chairman, who represents the town as the owner of the property, sign this document.
All right. Ooh, we got a couple of them. Is there a motion to allow the chair to sign both of these documents?
First.
Yeah, absolutely. Not much there.
I'll second.
I'll make the motion, I'm sorry.
All right, motion made and seconded, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Now I'll make a motion.
Let me say one thing first, and I don't have a problem, but one second. Just to tell everybody, please, if you're going to be out driving on the road and so forth in the next 3 or 4 days, knowing there's another snowstorm coming on Thursday, and knowing there's possibly another one coming on Saturday, be careful, drive safely, and we want to keep you all around. Now I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move. Second for the third time.
So for Thursday. All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.